sales travels around Tuesday, around the time. So you could just move. You seem to have forgotten that you went to study theater. You know, now you're a radio man. And I'm sure you have sort of dared me to prove that I was still relevant and knew the game. So out of that dare, in my annoyance to prove to her, I said, just to let her know that, Charlie, when I want to write, I can write. So I wrote the Saga of the Returnee, and I said, I have to put this up. I can't just write the play and put it
leave it there. Yeah.
Because the whole bit to show her that I still got it.
Exactly.
So I wrote the Saga of the Returnee with my friends. We put up the set ourselves to put things together. And we did our first show at Christ the King. And it got a good turnout, honestly.
Oh, great.
I was amazed with the turnout. You know, so that's how it started. And it was like, people were like so loving it. So I moved from Christ the King to the British, going to do it and donate it to a cause or something.
Okay.
Then we can give you this space. So I said, why not? At that time, I had a friend called Prickle, who had a sister who was visibly challenged.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'll do something and I'll donate it to the Ghana School of the Blind. And that's how I was able to get the British Council Hall to stage the Saga of the Returnee. So I booked the British Council Hall, and fortunately I was on air then, so I used my time to
do the publicity.
I can push the show.
Okay.
You know, the first show didn't do well at the British Council Hall. I think then it seated 300 people, if I remember, 300 or 200. I sold 13 tickets. But guess what?
13.
Again, I had given out so much on my show.
Yeah.
I comped the place out.
Yeah.
So if you're, you know,
wow.
So the Friday that it opened with my 13 tickets, it's a full packed house, complimentary in Kwana. And so just as I was ending, I told them that
the show would run
they
again.
loved the show. I got a standing ovation. People were like in love with the show. So as I finished and I took my curtain bow, then I said, by the way, the show will be here next week. And guess what?
Sold out.
Sold out.
Exactly.
So the first one was a giveaway, was a sacrifice. Totally.
It was actually bait.
This next one was sold out. And from that time to date, I don't think I've performed any of my performances as much as I do. Talal, Metro TV. Yeah. And Talal said, I've heard so much about you and I read some things about the show. I think we should take it out of the British Council Hall and take it to the National Theatre.
Wow.
I have arrangement with them for some whatever butter. So we have the space.
Sure.
I said, really? So I said, sure, why not? So I have to give credit to Talal then.
Talal Fatal.
Yeah, Talal Fatal. He booked the space and he used Metro to run it like crazy, the arts. About this show coming on, and I did some very, very, very funny, what do you call that?
Promos, yeah.
You know, I'm going to put Kofo here. At National Theatre was sold out completely. You know.
Interesting.
So then I told my wife, Charlie, you see, I still got it.
You still got it, man.
And let me tell you what was funny, George, and, you know.
Yeah.
Because it was 1 month. Yes. Okay. A play has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has characters.
Yeah.
It climaxes. It has a climax. It has a conflict.
It has
a
conflict.
resolution.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. But because I did it as a one-man performance, and people were watching it, and now being Datsun.
Yeah.
He used to be showbiz.
Yeah, graphic showbiz editor.
You know, he wrote a brilliant review of the thing, and he called me King of Comedy in that review, and that was.
And that was where it started from.
That's wow. The film didn't quite take off like I wanted. Radio is doing cool, but the stage looks fantastic. So I had to make some calculations. You know, I was still on radio though. You know, so. And it was around all that time, and the politics and the political tension, everything. So I wrote my first show after the Saga of the Returnee called Politically Incorrect.
Yeah.
Yes. And that show.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then he became the owner of Metro
TV.
Yeah. So that show, I was backstage getting ready, and then somebody came and said, Charlie, JJ's here.
Wow.
I said, what?
Wait, you didn't know he was coming?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Because of the commercials, I was thinking, I'll put him here. I think that, I don't know why he came, but that's when I got alerted backstage that JJ was there.
Pressure on the mind, eh?
Charlie. And his wife. I
Wow.
said, really?
Nice.
It was something else, George. Because when I entered the nothing down there, and I shouted, that's my man! I had never seen him before.
Wow.
That's my man! You the man, And the praise was like haywire. So I did Politically Incorrect.
Yeah.
And I think what that show did was, I think that was the first time Ghanaians realized, or more, because I brought that out of him.
Yeah.
And the show went on until I pushed him until he got to a part where he actually took part in the play.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I went and sat in front of him and I said, Mr. President, please level with me. You left the government, and then
This is Rollins.
He's chopped all the money.
Who won, dog?
Yes, I was, and he was cracking up.
Wow.
And then he told a very, very funny story, So I'm saying, so that play stood out.
Yeah.
So I just realized, wow, so this thing works. I mean, if Ghana...
They're having a conversation right here on Joy 99.